time here to London, you know.
A blinding flash of white light lit up the sky over Gaza tonight. People running for cover, not knowing whether they're dead or alive. They came with their tanks and their planes, with ravaging fiery flames, and nothing remains, just a voice rising up in the smoky haze. We will not go down in the night without a fight. You can burn up our mosques and our homes and our schools, but our spirit will never die. We will not go down in Gaza tonight. Women and children alike, murdered and massacred night after night, while the so-called leaders of countries afar debated on who's wrong or right. But their powerless words were in vain, and the bombs fell down like acid rain. But through the tears and the blood and the pain, you can still hear that voice through the smoky haze. We will not go down in the night without. We will not go down in. Through the tears and the blood.
Is that after the PA requested, so now the money goes straight to the PA treasury. The PA is handing the fuel out to Gaza. This is crazy, isn't it?
Afraid of people. Then in my letter I answered her, don't cut the fuel of Gaza! 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 Children are dying, no, it's so unfair.
Are we going in? Do you want to go in?
Huh? Okay, go.
Yeah,
You know that, yes. Okay.
No, he's busy now. But I can hear his.
Well, we want to hand this letter in because we're very concerned about the situation with fuel in Gaza and believe that the Palestinian Authority is really behind the shortage.
Behind the shortage?
Yeah.
You are bad informed, I think. It's not. The
Well,
Palestinian Authority has nothing to do with the cut of electricity and gas of Gaza.
What we're concerned with is that the EU is paying for 300,000 litres of fuel to help power the Gaza power plant.
This is Hamas.
And that, that the EU is providing that.
Yeah, for West Bank, not
they're
for
providing 2 million litres per day for West Bank and 300,000 litres for Gaza. Now all of that is going into the PA treasury, and they're not handing that 300,000 litres to Gaza. And not only that, but they're not even prepared to sell that 300 litres at the normal international rate, which is 2.8 shekels per litre. Instead, they're asking
it's not a matter of finance problem. It's a political problem with the Israeli government. I think that you are in the wrong place. You should do this in front of the Israeli embassy, not in Palestinian mission.
We understand that the reason for the fuel shortage is Israel, because as the occupying power, it has responsibility under international law to provide for the humanitarian needs of the population, which includes electricity, and they're not doing that. Now, apart from that, they're only providing 120 megawatts, while Gaza needs 420 megawatts per day. Now, in order to make up for the difference, Gaza has a power plant.
I will let you know something.
Because of that, the supply of the power plant, because of the Egyptian coup, they've cut that supply off in terms of through the tunnels and also the Qatari fuel. So now all that's left for them is the EU fuel, which has been paid for already, and that's gone into the PA treasury, and PA are not handing that fuel over. And they're not even
let me let you know something very important. That the people in Gaza, it's our people. We look after them and we care about them. It's not a matter of willingness. We are willing to help them, but the problem is rely with the rulers of Gaza Strip who don't want to cooperate with the Palestinian Authority because this authoritarian rulers, and the problem is they are taking advantage of the suffering of Gaza people. I think that you have to as well talk or look for the means to talk to Hamas and their leaders and explain to them your point.
Can I say something? Do you mind if I say something? I will talk with them for sure, because if it's not true that the Palestinian Authority in Ramallah has received the funds and therefore the fuel that's allocated for Gaza, if this is not true, then it needs to be corrected. But if indeed the Palestinian Authority in Ramallah has received the funds for 300,000 liters of fuel that is desperately needed in Gaza right now, and the PA in Ramallah is not transferring that fuel or those funds, if that be the case, it's not about Hamas. It's not the case. You're saying categorically you have not.
It's not the case of, not a problem of finance problem. It's not to send money. It's not the problem. The problem is the Israeli willingness to allow the fuel to go to.
So Israel is not allowing for that fuel, which has already been paid for by the EU, to be transferred from the PA in Ramallah. That fuel cannot be transferred because of Israel.
It's a logistic problem. It's not a finance problem.
So the PA is not refusing to transfer those funds or that fuel.
No, it's not refusing. Absolutely.
It's Israel that's blocking
I told you, for your knowledge, the Palestinian Authority transfer every month salaries to 70,000 Palestinian employed in Gaza, employed by Palestinian Authority. If the Palestinian Authority want to stop this salary, that would provoke a huge problem for the Gaza people who living there. No. It's not. I think that is you got
in terms of the fuel,
message.
specifically the fuel. EU is providing 300,000 liters to the PA to hand to Gaza. Is that fuel? Are you saying that
the Palestinian Authority don't have the willing to give to hand this?
From what my understanding, you were trying to sell it to them for 5.7 shekels per liter, which is a ridiculously high amount.
The problem lie, as told you, with the rulers in Gaza. First of all, there are more than 1,200 millionaires in Gaza now, since the Hamas arrived to power. There were 1,200 millionaires. These people took advantage of the tunnels and the commercial fuel to Gaza, and taken advantage of suffering of the Palestinian people in Gaza. I think that you don't have the wrong clear image of the situation.
Ordinary people, as you said, they're your people. So forget Hamas for now.
Why forget Hamas?
They are the people.
No, but they are
people are suffering. They're your people.
Who take advantage of suffering? Who take advantage of suffering? Hamas.
Well, if you're saying because Hamas is the government in Gaza, you're going to charge them 5.7 shekels per litre instead of the international rate, which is 2.6.
They receive millions and millions from Iran and from different sources. They have to invest this money for their people. We are not here. I'm not here to defend the position of any country. We are the Palestinian Authority willing to help our people, willing to transfer the money. We didn't hide the money for them. In the contrary, we are transfer every month millions and millions to our. We have 55% of our budget is transferred to Gaza Strip, for your knowledge.
But I'm saying for 3 months they haven't had any fuel, and now their reserves have run out.
It's a political decision for Israeli.
No, the tunnels are closed after the
but the Palestinian Authority has not
so they haven't had any fuel.
It's a logistic problem with the Israeli government. You should go to the Israeli embassy to.
So sorry, can I understand you? What you're saying is it's not your fault. It must be either Hamas or Israel. Well, I think that's a very sad way of seeing it.
No.
Instead of turning around and saying to us,
I told you
we will listen to what you're saying and we will look at it. Instead of that, you're blaming Israel and Hamas. And all we're asking you to do is to read our letter and think about it.
And if it's incorrect, and you have not, the PA in Ramallah has not received funds which is allocated to transfer fuel to Gaza, if the PA has not received the fuel and it can show that it has not received the money for that fuel, just please let me finish. If there is a mistake here, let's find out where the mistake is. But if indeed the PA in Ramallah has received money for 300,000 liters of fuel that is not being transferred, and it cannot be blamed on the Israelis, then it's the PA, not Hamas, not Israel. If that is a mistake, then it needs to be cleared up. But if that money has been received and it's not being transferred to the people of Gaza,
we got the letter. I will transfer to the ambassador.
I'll be all too happy to correct that if it's wrong. But if it's correct, this is a serious crime against the Palestinian people by representatives in the West Bank. If it's correct.
It's not about money. It's not
I hope not. I pray and I hope that it's not, because really it would be more than a travesty. It would be a serious crime against the people of Palestine and Gaza, and I hope that it's not the case.
It's ridiculous to say that. We'll never commit
There's a lot of dirty dealing on every side here. Let's be honest with each other. The PA in Ramallah is not lily white. You know that as well as I do, and neither is Hamas. But it doesn't stop the fact that the people who really suffer here are the people on the ground, and that is not acceptable. Enough of this.
I told you that 40%, 45% of our budget go to Gaza Strip, for your knowledge.
Okay.
If you are talking about 300,000, I don't know what number you mentioned.
The money for 300,000 liters of fuel.
We are not hiding this money. We are, in the contrary, we are transfer all the money spending to Gaza in a proper way.
I hope so.